What is going on, guys? Bet Records back with another fantasy football video. Today, we're going to go ahead and do a 12-team mock draft here with Draft Wizard by Fantasy Pros. 12-team. We're going to start in the third position and see how this one goes. We got only a couple weeks until the final, preseason games are underway and week one starts here. So getting really close to the start of the season here and getting pretty excited. Looks like the first couple off the board here, Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry off the board to start. The best choice would take McCaffrey. Everyone has the injury concerns. If he stays healthy, he's a steal at the number 3 spot. Just because of that, the majority of people will lean towards Austin Eckler. I think I'm going to do that in this draft here today. It's a little bit of a safer bet. He kind of wanted a lighter workload, and the Chargers, coach basically said, "No, we're good. You're a stud. We need you on the field." So he is going to see a, big workload again this season. Think that's a great pick for our number one pick there. Roster on the left side there. Let's keep rolling. I don't mind Debo. He's the best wide receiver pretty much available. Some may argue Mike Evans, but he's going to be the best here. We will get one more turn when we come back, so I'm going to double check the running backs, see what we have for value left. I think I'm going to take one of these top guys here. Wouldn't mind if Jones or Fournette fall to us, though, however. This is going to be one of those toss-ups here. Wide receiver depth is a little bit larger, especially in the later rounds, so I'm going to go ahead and grab Aaron Jones. Over Fournette, Aaron Jones, there's been some talks of them splitting more time with A.J. Dillon just to, increase his playing time throughout the season, reduce injuries as well. I just don't see it happening. I know that the wide receiver struggle in Green Bay is a true thing. They may lean on Dillon to, do some 2 running back sets, maybe throw him at wide receiver. I don't really know about that. I just don't see a ton of touches getting taken away from Jones. If anything, they increase the run game in total in Green Bay this season. I mean, Aaron Jones is just a beast. I don't think they can take rid of him altogether. Looking back here, Debo went off after that. Tyreek Hill, Cam Akers, and then Fournette went off the board as well. We do have a couple, what do we got? About at least 15 picks until we are back on the board here, beginning of the third round. Wouldn't mind taking Elliott, a nice safe floor, but with us having 2 running backs already, we got to lean towards the wide receivers. I think Mike Evans is the best bet. I struggle between Evans and Higgins. Both will see a ton of volume. Evans has kind of gone lower in my rankings ever since the Julio, signing as well. But every year he performs. Every year we kind of have this debate with him. Mike Evans is a safe wide receiver 1 for all of your fantasy football teams this season. All right, a lot of people off the board. I saw Dobbins go, Montgomery went, Sutton went, Patrick Mahomes as well, Kyle Pitts as well, Mike Williams off the board. ETN was the pick right before us. 4th round, Justin Herbert still here. I wouldn't mind grabbing him here if he fell to the 5th. It's an obvious steal. I would really lean towards looking at him. It depends what you're feeling. I just know there's a lot more quarterbacks available later on here, especially this season. I can maybe get some in the 2 rounds from now. So I'm not really looking for quarterback all the time. This is a great value for him, however, though. Like Waddle, I just don't think he'll outperform some of these other guys. I would lean Cooks or Davis. Don't mind Deontay Johnson. Again, there's just a lot of people in there. He signed a 2-year deal, I believe, so he's not, out there trying to prove himself or anything like that. So I'm going to go Brandon Cooks. They're going to be down a ton this season. The running back, game for Houston is just a mess. In the wide receiving room, this is the only guy out there. So I think they're going to be slinging the ball with Davis Mills. We'll take Brandon Cooks as our fairly safe wide receiver 2. I'd say he's a pretty solid wide receiver 2, if not a fringe, low end wide receiver 1 this season as well. So Justin Herbert just went off right before us. Like I said, if he did move to the 5th round, that was an easy steal. I should have maybe still taken him at the end of the 4th there. Maybe we could have, got Deontay Johnson still and been okay at wide receiver, but again, I think we're going to see what falls to me in the next round here, see what's still available. George Kittle is still on the board. Don't mind that. I think I want to look towards our flex spot here. And running back is getting pretty tight. Wide receiver, again, will be plentiful as the rounds go on. Here's AJ Dillon. I think he's going too early. Kind of talked about him earlier. Definitely don't want him on my team with Aaron Jones. I get kind of, having that handcuff there as well. But I'm not going to start Jones and Dillon any week this season. If Aaron Jones is injured, right, and I have them both, of course I'm starting Dillon in my running back position. But there would be no circumstance I would want to start AJ Dillon in my flex spot. So truly, if I got him in there or use him as a bench backup, I'm really not looking to use him. I think it's kind of a waste of a spot there. I'm going to lean towards Damien Harris here. I do like CEH as well, just because of the opportunity this season of the other running backs. McKinnon isn't looking very well. The other guys just haven't been proving themselves in the offseason here. I get the, Stevenson hype with Damien Harris here, but I don't think he regresses too much. Maybe he gets 150. They're projecting 172. He did get 192 points last season, and I believe was the number one running back to have touches within the 5-yard line. So he was their main goal line, pounded in back. I think he'll be able to take that job again this season as well. So we'll take Damien Harris there. We could have leaned elsewhere and gotten CEH, as I mentioned earlier. But let's just take a peek at tight ends, see who we have remaining. Dallas Goedert, TJ Hawkinson. I think in this video, we're going to look at some flyer tight ends. So we'll go ahead and peek at them later on in this draft and later rounds. Kyler Murray's left for us here in the end of the 6th. He should go middle of the 6th. So kind of right where Jalen Hurts went. Looks like Hurts, Schultz, Joe Burrow just went off the board. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Chris Godwin, Waller as well. Sanders went a couple picks after us as well. But anyways, Kyler Murray's the guy. We could, kind of punt it. Russell Wilson does have a lot of, upside, especially with the new offense and a lot of young talent in Courtland Sutton and Judy as well as the running backs in, Williams there too. Tom Brady finished, I believe, top 3 fantasy points last season just because the guy's been slinging it since day one. Don't mind, him. I don't mind waiting one more round. Just think we're going to have that rushing upside with a Kyler or even a Jalen Hurts. I'm really leaning on those two guys in this round to kind of snag at that quarterback position. If I'm really feeling someone in my home draft, quarterbacks are going early, I'll take one in the 5th as well. But let's get Kyler here. Got a couple other players that are going to go off the board. Edmonds, who a lot of people are high on right now. Dak Prescott, Singletary, and Rashad Bateman as well. I do like Bateman. He's going into his 2nd year, I believe, and will be the wide receiver 1 for Baltimore. A lot of these, younger wide receivers do a ton better their 2nd year in the NFL. So definitely would have taken Bateman over some of these guys, but this is the wide receiver round. There's some great talent out here. I believe, we got Thomas and even Thielen here as well. Thielen's just going a little bit later just because of the injury risks and concerns. Justin Jefferson is a top dog, right? Especially when it comes to fantasy, let alone real football games. But Thielen will see plenty of opportunities when he's healthy. He's a great bench spot for a wide receiver here. But I'm leaning towards, with what's available, Mooney or Michael Thomas as well. If you believe in the Saints, go ahead and grab Thomas. He's doing all right, supposedly, in preseason. I'm a little skeptical because I did take him last season. That was the same news. Oh, he's going to play, and never played last season. So I'm kind of thinking it's going to be a different story this year. Nonetheless, I'm going to pick Darnell Mooney. The Chicago Bears haven't made a huge improvement on anything offensively in this offseason here. Mooney should be still that number 1 guy, especially with Allen Robinson leaving, going to the Rams. Cole Kmet is a great, tight end upside, which we can talk about possibly later in this draft. But nonetheless, I think we're going to go Mooney. Should be seeing a fair target share in that offense. So we will go ahead and grab Mooney as our number 1 bench spot. And maybe we'll take a peek at tight ends. If you guys are still with this video, let me know how I'm doing so far. Did you like that Kyler pick? Would you have taken Michael Thomas over Mooney here? Let me know in the comments below. Drop a like on here. Let us know you like these videos, and we'll be grinding a couple more out before the season progresses here. Nonetheless, a lot of good tight ends available. I do like the 8-9 round for some of these tight ends. I love Ertz as well. Did see a lot of volume in Arizona last season, and with DeAndre Hopkins out for the first 6 games to start the season off, that target share should grow in his favor as well. Nonetheless, I think we're gonna wait. I think we're gonna wait for a tight end. Um, I think Hopkins as another wide receiver on our bench is not a bad play here. I just want to peek at the running backs. They're going to get really thin after the seventh round here, and then we can already kind of see that happening. So I definitely am gonna go with Hopkins here. Again, he is suspended for the first 6 games of the season, but when he's going to be on the field, it's not like he's got an injury or nothing. It was a suspension, so he's going to be a plug and play week 7. Believe they have a bye week in week 8 or 13, it says with Kyler here. So, I'll throw Hopkins in here. I'll take that stack after week 7. I think that'll be pretty solid. He's still an amazing, massive guy and a massive target for Kyler Murray in that offense as well. So, alrighty. So let's go ahead and look at all the suggested just to see here. A lot of wide receivers are on the top of this, board here. I don't mind some of these running backs. Darrell Henderson could see, some opportunities. Cam Akers should be okay. We saw the big pass. He played maybe 2 games in the last season. But truly, we haven't seen him perform. He's a smaller guy, so there's a possibility of injury always with these guys. I don't mind Darrell Henderson. It's kind of a let's keep him for 2 weeks and see what happens, right? Akers may not be that guy. They may be putting him in all these trainings and stuff as well. I don't mind a shot on Darrell Henderson in the 9th, 10th round as well. So I'm not going to grab him now. I think we will lean towards one of these wide receivers. I love Robert Woods. He should be the number 1 option in Tennessee. Treylon Burks should be a close second in that offense as well. But he's been having some struggles, just like a lot of other wide receiver rookies. Kind of finding his place and performing well in this preseason. So I think Robert Woods is a safer bet. He's been here. He's done it. He still got Tannehill. He'll throw the ball down there. We know he will. And we got Christian Kirk as well, who I think is poised for a great season. I'm just worried about all the hands there. We knew he had a massive contract. It was the biggest wide receiver contract before, a lot of these other ones and big moves kind of took place here. So they're going to use him. I just don't know how much, and I'm scared of that target share. He could be seeing, at least, I don't know, a little bit less than 50% of the target share in the offense. But again, we just really don't know. Same thing with Green Bay. Lazard could be seeing a third of the target share. They got some rookies in there. They, got some older veterans as well. Lazard is, the main guy that was there last season for Rodgers. But again, there's a lot of kind of gambles here. If you want some high upside, I would say either Burks or Kirk. I'm leaning towards having the best seasons out of all of them, but I think I'm going to take a safe floor. We got Mooney, who should be, getting a lot of points every week or have a, 2-target week. He'll have 2 targets or 10 targets. So I'm going to go with Robert Woods, something a little bit more consistent as well. He's not the same as Hopkins or Mooney for the bye weeks, which is nice. So we'll go ahead and slide him in on our bench as well. Now we're going to have a ton of picks after that. Burks, Henderson, saw James Robinson, Madison off the board. Got Garrett Wilson, Pickens on Pittsburgh, who is a pretty high prospect, especially in fantasy football. He's a monster. He's a beast. The reports are all great from him. The only problem is Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. Deontay Johnson, again, we mentioned, he had the 2-year sign-on deal this season. Claypool, I can't remember what his contract is, but he's kind of posting on social media that he's going to have a big season and all this as well. So I don't know what Kenny Pickett's going to do on that offense. I don't mind taking a risk with Pickens. Just know that, after maybe the 4th week, just bail ship, get out of it. MVS, don't mind him in a later round, taking a shot there. Russell Gage, I did like in these later rounds. However, with the recent Julio Jones signings within the past couple of weeks, I'm kind of off the train. Hate to say it. Think there's still potential there for him, but now we got 4 wide receivers again. We got Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Russell Gage, Julio Jones, and then we got a handful of tight ends as well. I'm out on it. Let's go ahead and peek at the running backs one more time here. Haven't grabbed a backup running back. Think we should have grabbed one a couple rounds ago, but again, this is why we do these mocks, to kind of learn and kind of piece together a short plan. The number 1 rule is to get a plan in place and ditch it after the first round. See who falls. If you're targeting, I need to take a running back or wide receiver in this round, right? That's when you start to kind of reach down, and then your draft may not end how you wish. Raheem Mostert, we'll grab him again. We just need a running back. I'll have to grab one again here once on one of these later rounds. But we'll go ahead and grab him. I don't mind Jamal Williams as well. Detroit has, kind of plug and play both these guys, Swift and Williams, especially due to injury, of course. So don't think that's a bad option to grab him in a little bit here. But nonetheless, we have pick 11 and Dallas Goedert is still on the board. Either of these guys are a dang steal. I hate to say it's really the offense you believe in the most. Philadelphia with a rushing quarterback or Jared Goff, who is a pocket passer, should see some more targets thrown his way. I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson. Let me know in the comments where you're leaning on this. I really think it's a coin flip. I'm going to just take Hawkinson and we'll move on here. Maybe we'll look at some of these guys later. Love a Hunter Henry, especially for best ball. Love Cole Kmet and Pat as well. They should all see a lot of targets, but with having Mooney on my bench, I don't want to double up in that Chicago offense, especially that receiving core. So if I passed on Mooney and took someone else, I might reach for, Kmet earlier as well. But nonetheless, let's look at the best couple available here. We could grab a defense. What are we doing? Let's go ahead and grab that defense. Let's go ahead and grab a kicker. Let's just get him out of the way here. And then we will see what we got remaining. Going to see if we can't get some flyer picks for the final two picks here. It's going to get a little tough with these guys here. All righty. Can I switch this over to rankings? Let's see if we can do that here. All righty. There we are. We got Hunter Henry up next. Then I was going to say, I figured we'd have some of these backup quarterbacks. I'm not looking for a backup quarterback this season. In redraft formats, if you're playing best ball, of course you have to. Don't mind Trevor Lawrence, even a Tua, right? With the addition of Tyreek Hill in that offense, he could be seeing some big games as well. So don't mind him as a quarterback too in some best ball leagues. Love Gesicki. Some of the pressure should be off him looking towards, again, Hill in that offense. Could see some exponential growth this season. I'm actually going to take Irv Smith Jr. as that second tight end. Obviously, we're from Minnesota. The whole channel's from Minnesota. Got a little bit of bias there, but he had that thumb surgery. He's starting in, preseason here. Hold him until week 3, week 4. We're going to see his usage within the first, fifth of the season this year. So definitely a guy I want to put on my radar. He's going to go earlier in some leagues than others, of course, but nonetheless, think he's a great kind of backup there. Let's go ahead and take a peek at wide receivers before we end this one off. Again, my biggest regret is not grabbing another running back a little bit sooner. Maybe I could have grabbed something instead of Mooney. I know we do have Damian Harris as that running back 3, but just to have some more depth on our bench, essentially, right? That's always the biggest thing. We want to look for that upside and then that depth on our bench. I'm going to name a couple players here, but I know my guy in the last round. If he's still there, I'm taking him. Robbie Anderson, we got Baker Mayfield this year. Could we see something? Sure. Is he still bashing everyone on social media? You know it. So I'm off of him. Don't like him as a player. I'm good there. Good luck to him, though, nonetheless. J.K. Osborne, again, Minnesota fan. That's why it's a name. He did okay. Adam Thielen gets injured. He's definitely a good flex play, as that wide receiver 2 in that offense. But I'm not going to take him here. I'm loving some Jameson Williams here this season. He's going to be the number 2 wide receiver once he's healthy. Looks like he's on track to start after week 4. He's had some injury issues in the preseason already, unfortunately. But if he's healthy and you got an IR spot, throw him in that IR spot. You'll keep him in that spot for the first couple weeks of the season. And then B, hold on to him after that. You need to drop him after a couple weeks because Goff isn't slinging it. Get rid of them. So that is going to be my final pick here. Let's see what we get. Can't remember if these give us a grade or not. Yep, they do. So we got a B minus. I've never gotten anything higher than a B with taking a tight end this late in the draft. So if you take one of the first tight ends, one of the first quarterbacks, I feel like they're going to give you an A every single time. Just kind of how it works. Again, just kind of looking over the team. We got Kyler Murray at quarterback there. Did kind of stack him with DeAndre Hopkins after week 6, which will be kind of dope and interesting. We could throw him in a flex if we need to because we got some great wide receivers in Mike Evans and Brandon Cooks as well. On our starting team, we also have 2 running backs, Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones. Backup running back, Damian Harris. Got, defense kicker, Defense, I think you need to stream it this season. You know, if you get one of the top guys, good for you. Roll with them. Otherwise, just pick, the worst people we're playing against. Pick your kicker one of the last 3 rounds. I don't care if you pick them in the, 12th round, if there's 15 rounds total. Pick one of the best guys. Throw some of these shots out there. These last 3 picks, remember, are going to be the people you drop the first 4 weeks of the regular season, right? So, Mostert, I'm not really confident in him, but needed to throw a shot out there at running back. Irv Smith, we should see how it is. And then, Jameson Williams, both of those guys at the end kind of have those injury concerns that we'll want to monitor the first couple of weeks and, make those roster moves when we can, of course. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in as always. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for a lot more fantasy football content. We're going to be doing weekly NFL videos. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff up until week 1 as well. So make sure you follow along. Like again, if you enjoyed, let me know how my team did in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.